Hello everyone, my name is Bygl and welcome back to another episode here from the Minecraft Let's Play series. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. It's a pretty exciting episode if I do say so myself, because it's actually the 2-year anniversary episode. We've been doing this for 2 years now and we've done a bunch of fun stuff on this world. But yeah, I just finished gathering up some of these resources over here that we're gonna use to finish today's project, which is a pretty exciting one, and it's kinda nice that it ended up that we'll be finishing it today, because it's, episode 70, kind of a milestone, I guess. 2 years on this world, and the project we're gonna be finishing is over there. We wouldn't be able to see it if my render distance was a little higher, so we're just gonna fly over, and we're gonna be finishing the mountain. So I don't know about you guys, but this did not feel like we just started this 10 episodes back. This feels like it's been over here for like 2 years unfinished, but if we fly away and if I look over here, you will be able to see that basically the whole thing, at least the base of the whole thing, is complete. And what we're gonna work on right now is we're gonna try to finish up the details, finish up all of the small nitpicks that I have about this, and we're gonna call this finished in today's episode. But hey, before we start working on the mountain, I do want you guys to take a look at it to see how it looks right now. What I'm gonna do to this mountain is pretty much the same thing we've done to the front of it over there. We're gonna have like these plateaus of dirt right intersecting with the stone. There's definitely gonna need to be more dirt on the top over here, and I'm basically gonna build like a bazillion custom trees all around here. And they're gonna be kind of small in scale, because if you have big trees on a mountain, that usually makes the mountain look kind of smallish, not too impressive. So having small trees on a mountain basically makes it look bigger. That's why I have all of these spruce materials over here. That's what we're gonna use those for. Yeah, this area over here is a good example of what I wanna achieve today. So these kinds of trees, and maybe slightly smaller in scale still than this. We can have these big ones near the bottom, no problem, they don't really pose an issue. Also, Endermen. Okay, there we go. Endermen are gonna be a big problem with this mountain. They are gonna slowly decimate this thing over time, so yeah, I don't know how we're gonna fix that, how we're gonna prevent that, other than like sleeping all the time and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna have these trees, we're gonna have like these stones near the bottom and more dirt near the top. We're gonna bone meal this up, so we have all of these like grass blocks and tall grass blocks all throughout. And yeah, that is basically the simple plan. And also, if we fly over here, you'll be able to see that there's a little bit of like tough detailing that we did quite a while back. And that is something that I wanna introduce to the other sides of the mountain as well. So I'm gonna need to actually gather up some of that, because we don't have any. And I gotta say, I did not expect the mountain to end up looking anything like this. Like, all of the sides of the mountain do look kind of different. Like, this side over here is kind of like sharp. There's like this sharp line in the middle, which leads to the summit over there. Then this one over here kind of looks like super flat. It's nowhere near as steep or sharp. It's kind of just like a small plateau over there, and it's just a slow incline all the way up. And if we come over here, from this side, the mountain looks kind of like it's a big staircase in a way, if that makes any sense. So there's like steep, then plateaus over there, steep, plateaus over there, and steep. And honestly, I like that it looks different from every single angle that you look at it. You guys will say that it's inconsistent. I'm gonna say that it gives it character. There we go. I think that is the perfect size for the trees that we're gonna be putting over here. Of course, some are gonna be smaller. Most of them are slightly gonna be bigger, I think, because I don't think I can make these types of trees any smaller anymore without like sacrificing 90% of what actually makes them look good. But I'm gonna basically copy this design, let's say a couple tens of times, maybe more, we'll see. I do want to have quite a thick grow every once in a while over here, and then some like sparse areas with just a few trees, depending on what the terrain is, right? Like if we have these types of plateaus, then building trees is easy, and like these rocky surfaces over here, not so much. So I'm gonna see what we can do with this, and we're finally gonna have a finished mountain after all this time. And there it is in all of its glory, and what better way to celebrate finishing building this other than actually hiking up the mountain over here, right? So this is the lowest point of the mountain, I believe, and I'm gonna start making my way very slowly up. Something I noticed for the most part is that we don't really have many steep edges on the mountain. Maybe some over here, like this one and this one, but other than that, it's relatively a easy easy mountain to climb on, so that's pretty neat. You can see some of the trees I built over here. I built a total of like 20 trees all around the mountain, which took a few hours, but it's not too bad. It's probably something that I will have to do a few more times if I actually want to have the forest around this place that I want to have over here. But yeah, just scaling the mountain this way, you can see that it's actually not that big, doesn't feel as big. Yeah, I would think that it would take a little bit longer to scale this mountain, but alas, here we are. It is a very cool view from up here though, no? Seeing the entirety of the compendium. But that is basically it, because we haven't really built anything else around the mountain. We only have that one build area going on, I believe. Well, if you look closer, you can see the cauldrons I have on that hill, but that is basically it. But you know what needs to be done? Once you scale up a mountain, you need to place your flag on it and name it. And we're gonna do something like this. I think this could be a cool name. A Mount... How did I want this? Sun Peak? Sun Peak, yeah. And with these two here on the top for now, we can say that this is officially done, and any further work that we will most likely still probably do on this is just gonna be improvements and stuff like that, right? Adding more trees, adding more tuff maybe. I did add a bunch of tuff into the side. If you look close, you'll be able to see patches here and there all around. Yeah, we need to wait for the snow to come back on top of the tuff so it doesn't look so weird. But as far as the mountain goes, this is it. This is it. Feels weird saying that it's finished, but it is. And now we're just gonna fly away from it and forget about it until the rest of eternity. Not that we really can do that, because it's kinda in our face all of the time. So I think we're gonna be reminded of our efforts relatively frequently, which is nice. Anyway, we're gonna move on to something else now, something that I wanted to do for a very, very long time, but I had too many projects unfinished. I just wanted to get some of those out of the way before starting something new, and that is what we're gonna do right now. And it's built here, right between the Spruce Town and the Compendium area, slightly to this side, around here somewhere, I believe. I started building this. It's something that I'm like super excited to do, but kind of ashamed of how it is done. Is it over here? Yeah, there it is. There it is. This, my friends, is an automatic potion brewer. Well, I think you could probably tell as much. The thing that I am ashamed of, right, is that it isn't my design, and I always wanted to make my potion brewing machine design, but I never could figure out how to do it. So I finally gave up and made someone else's, and I'm super happy that I did, because now I actually understand the logistics behind it, right? So if you're ever struggling to build something but you want to make your own design, build someone else's first and then take what you learned and apply it to your design. That is kind of what I didn't do here, but I'm gonna do in the future. But yeah, this is Etho's indie brewer design that we have in front of us right now, and man, I absolutely love this thing. If you guys want to see the block by block tutorial from the man himself, it is in the description with the timestamp. But I'm gonna try to do my best here and explain every single circuit. There's like 3 main circuits, I think, and that basically, if you get the grasp of it, you should be able to see how and why it works. So this is the main shut-off line, and there's a bunch of stuff leading to this redstone line. Basically, there is a thing that detects if there are potions over here. There is a comparator which detects if there are glass bottles in the hopper over there, and that also powers this line. There is a lever that you can flick which also powers the line. And as long as this line is powered, this hopper is locked. So basically this is a shutdown system, right? If there are no glass bottles, the system shuts down. If there are no what are they called? If the inventory space for the chest is filled and there are potions over here, system gets shut down. And yeah, basically it just allows us to turn off the machine with the lever over here manually as well, is the idea. On the other side here, this comparator looks for an item in the hopper, and if there is no item in the hopper, this means that we went through the cycle of all of the ingredients we need for the potion, right? So it sends a signal to the torch, which then activates the circuit on the top, which is basically the shoot the materials into the hopper circuit, if you guys want to call it that way. And so we have some nether wart over here, we have redstone over here, and this one, not this one, this one? Yeah, this one has the golden carrots for night vision. This is brewing by night vision, by the way. And yeah, once it detects that all of the previous potion items were consumed, it sends a signal to the torch, which activates all of the droppers in a succession, like so. I also named these, so you guys can kind of see which thing is for what. So this is the bottle storage, then this is the nether wart dropper. Over here we have the red or glow dropper, so we can put either redstone dust or glowstone dust in this thing, right? The bottom repeater over here is blocking items from going from the brewer over here into the hopper before they finish brewing. And the one last simple circuit is this thing, so basically this detects for the water bottle in the hopper, right? Which then activates the dispenser, which has a bunch of glass bottles in it, and it just shoots a water bottle and replaces this one. So it's kind of a auto refill for the water bottles, so we don't have to have a billion of non-stackable items in here, right? We just make them unstackable in the process, which is very convenient. There's also a very important redstone torch over here, which locks this hopper when it is not needed. And that is basically the whole system. Really simple if you look at it, you know, in retrospect. By building this, I was really scratching my head. I had no idea what I was building. But now that it is done, you know, I can kind of understand the majority of it. And finally, my dream has come true. Not only do we have a finished mountain in the back, we also have an infinite amount of potions. So I'm gonna take out 3 so you guys can see how this thing operates. It should be brewing right now, I believe. Yeah, so we have the ochre potions, then the golden carrot converts them into night vision. We get redstone dust into here, which basically extends the duration. I think the original one is like 3 minutes? 3 minutes, give or take, and this one is 8. So yeah, what you guys think? It's a pretty cool machine, huh? Kind of sad that I couldn't come up with a design myself, but now that I have this in my building vernacular, maybe I could come up with something in the future. Anyway, for the time being, do I have any wool? Over here I do have green wool, but we don't really have any green potions. I kind of want to make these color-coded, so this is... well, actually this is kind of purple, not blue, whatever. I'm gonna grab some wool real quick. Also, we can sip on this, and now we can see the night sky very clearly, which is really cool. Anyway, I'm gonna grab some wool, and we're gonna build 3 more modules of the potion brewer. If you saw the grid on the ground, kinda how I wanted to have them laid out is what that is for. Okay, I don't really have that much experience with night vision, but look, clearly blue sky, very blue sky over here. You look at this way, look at that! Look at the pinkiness, purpleness, whatever. And it's faded away. I'm assuming that was the sunset. And there you go, that is the technical foundation of our brand new potion project over here. Or potion brewing project, I should say. Done! So here it is, we are gonna have these 4 potion making machines, and that is gonna be it for the most part. We might do like a a basement to this place where we can put 4 more or something once we decide that we want to, because these 4 potions are basically the essentials that we will be brewing over here. And we're gonna place the golden carrots into the purple one just to have it consistent as far as the colors go. Here comes the rain. That's changed the mood quite a bit. But yeah, we have the pink and the silver, or I should say gray variation over here. By the way, guys, just so you know, thunderstorms are quite stressful for me because we do not have fire tick disabled on this world. So this is gonna be the final layout that I decided on. The purple one over here, this is actually going to be the night vision. We just moved the carrots over there. The blue one is going to be swiftness. Swiftness? Yeah, there's the sugar. This one is going to be the swiftness one. We're gonna have the gray one. This is going to be for weakness potions, for villager converting and stuff like that, right? And the pink one is going to be regeneration. Where did I put it? There it is, ghast tears. So yeah, we have this built, but the thing is that we actually need a little bit more than just these things built and the basic materials collected. We need to stock this thing up, and so it can brew potions for a very long time. And that is why I brought this thing over here. Check this out. I made a small list of what we need essentially and what we need for the specific potions. Don't worry, this is not a book and quill episode. We're just gonna very quickly check these things out. But before we do, I just wanna mention the floor. I just tried experimenting with something here. This is obviously going to have a build over it, so we are not really going to be seeing it from the outside. I just wanted to try out the birch, because we haven't really built anything with birch in this world yet, as far as I know. And so just this isn't affiliated with either Spruce Town or the Compendium. I just wanted to try out something different. So we'll see if it sticks, and yeah, if it actually matches the build that we'll come up with eventually to cover this up. I don't have much planned, honestly. But that is for way down the road. We need to figure out these things over here first. We don't really have time to start any of these new projects today, but we're just gonna check on our existing projects to see if we can fulfill the needs of creating any of these things. So to begin with, we need a smeltery and a lot of sand to fill the glass bottles into the machine. These machines require a lot of backup in glass bottles to even function, so we're gonna need quite a bit of this stuff. And we do have a smelter here in Spruce Town. Can you believe it, guys? We are in Spruce Town after like 20 episodes. Actually physically in it properly. And doing stuff in it as well, we might be. Probably, because this smeltery that we do have, remember this, I would not be surprised if no one remembered this. This might be the most like patchworked kind of almost functioning build that we have here. Like it's just ruined. We have one minecart that goes all the time, one minecart that only goes when it is supposed to go, and it's made out of cobblestone. Like, what is this? This isn't a smelter that we can rely on to smelt like 4 double chests of glass for glass bottles for this project. So this either needs to be fixed or we need to build a new one. And I think I'm gonna try the former. I think I'm gonna try to make this slightly better, and we'll see if we can. Well, first of all, make it look better, because this is this is hideous. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't expect this to take so long. I thought this would be just like a quick minute in between cuts, like 15 minutes deal. I fell in the hole. Needless to say, it is now the next day. I spent way too much time on this, and the thing that I couldn't figure out are these 3 freaking redstone components. I had a bunch of like reading stuff, and it checked when it was full and when it was not full, and when this was full and not full, and I just overcomplicated it. This is all we need: a comparator, repeater on maximum ticks, and a redstone torch over there. So check it out here, I'm gonna put all of this coal in. You wanna work with stacks of 64 with this thing, or at least 16, and this thing is now gonna run back and forth until all of the coal from this chest is evenly distributed into all of these furnaces. So as you can see, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, and 8. So there you go. It distributes 8 items as it goes and 8 items as it goes back, so that's cool. 16 items a pack. And it actually, the really cool thing is, if you do repeaters on Vortex and a redstone torch over there, this actually can pick up exactly 16 items a time when it comes over here. So it's 48, now it's gonna be 32 once it leaves. So it takes exactly the amount it needs each time, except for the first time. When you launch it for the first time, it actually picks up quite a few more items, but it's nice to have the backup in it. The smelting input is the exact same, and that is basically it. And now it actually works with all the 8 furnaces. Before it only worked with like 7 furnaces, so that wasn't really good. So this is the first proper test of the smelter. I'm just gonna chuck all of this sand into here, and yeah, we'll see if all of the furnaces consume fuel at the same pace. And if that is the case, then this thing is done and dusted, and hopefully we don't have to touch it again, because honestly, I don't really want to anymore. So while that is back there and working, we're gonna take a peep on everything else that we're gonna need for the project. One of the things being sugarcane for the swiftness potions. And yeah, I think we're more than set on that. So we can mark this as ready to be brewed. I'm gonna do the same for the sand over here. For the brews that we've been doing so far, I've been harvesting this nether wart over here in front of our overgrown mega portal that we have. And honestly, this might actually be enough for the whole project. Like, a single harvest is 3 stacks of nether wart in our pocket. Yeah, check it out, just over 3 stacks for a single harvest. I think we can safely say that this is way more than enough. So I'm gonna mark it in the document. There we go, that's the cursor. Don't get me wrong, I do want to build like a big, cool, automatic, well, semi-automatic netherworld farm, but just for the time being, I think this is gonna be more than enough. We have a really cheap trade for golden carrots at our villagers over here, so I think it's safe to say that we have a night vision figured out as well, like so. For weakness potions, we do need the brown mushrooms, which I do have to gather up manually, and we don't really have a good spot to do that. I cannot just do it wherever. But as far as the spider eye component of the fermented spider eye goes, we do have this spider farm, if it actually still works. I have no idea how it looks below that water curtain. I do hear the spiders, but I don't see any of them coming up. Does this thing actually work, or did it break in some update? It's been a few years since we built this, so I don't actually know. Oh yeah, it's working. They are coming and they're just a little slow. But yeah, we do get a bunch of spider eyes from this very easily, so yeah, I think we can mark this as ready to be brewed as well. And to very quickly check on the smelting, there's still sand in here. But as far as this goes, yeah, this is looking good. Is this evenly distributed? A stack in everything, 50 coal in all of these. The smelter is working as expected, which is really nice to see. Finally, we don't have this horrid monstrosity that we had over here. I mean, it had its charm, don't get me wrong, it had its, like, newbie charm, but this is way more satisfying to watch work. And way more consistent and reliable as well. So now we just need a consistent source of 2 resources, which would be the blaze rods and the gas tiers. Now, blaze rods, I have built a blaze farm on Metacraft, so I should be able to build one relatively easily. Gas tiers, however, for the regeneration, I'm not entirely sure how I would do that, so I'm gonna do some research on that. And we'll see how that goes. We might do that soon, we might do that later, we'll see. But it is definitely something we need to do in the somewhat near future. But we don't really have any time to start any of these two, so we're gonna just leave it to another day and we're gonna end the episode here now. I know we did a little bit of lollygagging here towards the end, just checking out some of the older builds and checking their status and whatnot. But we needed to do that just so we are aware of how the situation in our world is before we start finishing this brand new project over here. And we got it to a decent start, I would say. All of the basic machines are built. We have the footprint, so we know how big the build is going to be. Now I just need to figure out something so this looks cool once it is done. And before we do end it off here, I do want to say one thing, and that is a big thank you from the bottom of my heart to you guys, to either if you were like here from the beginning or just found this channel recently. Making these videos is like one of my favorite hobbies, like honestly speaking. So yeah, to anyone who checks them out and enjoys them, that is like the nicest thing to hear. So thank you so much. If you did enjoy it, I hope I was providing sufficient entertainment for the episode if you made it this far, and here's hoping to another 2+ years of making stuff, right? And so anyway, that is going to be it. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.